Aaron, looks like we're just getting the last couple things set up here real quick.
Okay.
All right, hang tight.
Morning, Aaron.
Good morning.
So, why have you alone? I don't know where Matt is, but what I want to do is see if we can. When's the next time we should set a live hearing?
That is a good question. It's
For
um,
today's purposes, it looks like we have 51 on the calendar. So, I don't want to do it next month then, unless it's the second date of August or the second time in August or the first one in September.
you mean for resetting the
Yep.
the FTAs?
Well, for any live hearings, I want to make sure that we're where we're at on it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss this at the end of this one, so we're gonna
Okay.
probably go ahead and get going. We have a few people in here.
Yeah.
And let's see who is in here. Is this up and down in here?
Are you muted?
No, I'm not. Okay. I'm gonna try to see. Going to see if you all can hopefully turn on your microphones and your videos. I'm going to call roll at this time. This is the Orting Municipal Court arraignment calendar for July 7, 2020. I'm going to start off with calling roll is Alyssa Baxter.
I don't have it. No, I don't.
No, Alyssa Baxter. Tanya Cope Crane. And Mr. Walls, you may have something on that because it looks like an attorney case. Shelly Cosino. Stephanie Fleming. Derek Funk. Michael Heen. Jose Hernandez Castillo. Gabriel Holguin. Monique Orell. I missed page 2. Gustavo Gilbert. Yannette Gomez Flores. Eldon Grafton Reed. Christopher Katchen.
I'm present.
All right, thank you. Devin Manzanares. Mark Marsh.
Present.
Thank you. John Matayoveski. John. Okay. Serena McAllister. Molly Meek. Chad Mergel. Sam Oshampa. Brendan Ostby. Dion Peterson. Rebecca Reed.
Present.
Chanel Robledo. Raven Rodriguez.
Present.
Ramon Rogers. Christina Schmidt. Jacob Schoenbachler. Jaeger Shaw. Stephanie Smithlin. Damara Valencia Martinez.
Present.
Melissa Valley. Jonathan Voss. Jason Webster.
Present.
All right. Okay, Mr. Webster, thank you. All right, I'm going to go through the rights at arraignment. You're charged with a criminal offense that carries a possible jail sentence. You're presumed innocent of any charge unless a charge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have a right to a speedy trial. If you're held in jail before trial, you must be brought to trial within 60 days of your commencement date. If you're released from jail, you must be brought to trial within 90 days of your commencement date. You have a constitutional right to a jury trial unless you specifically give up that right by signing a jury trial waiver. You have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses who testify against you. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. You may have the court subpoena those witnesses to appear and testify at no prior expense to you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the right to remain silent and not give any testimony or present any evidence in your defense. Your silence cannot be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing at arraignment and at all proceedings. If after your screen is determined you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Even though you do not have an attorney at arraignment, you do not waive your right to have an attorney at any later proceeding. If you feel you cannot have a fair trial because of the bias or prejudice of a particular judge, you have the right to a different judge within 10 days of assignment to that judge. You're entitled to only one change of judge. You have the right of appeal from any judgment of guilty entered by this court. To begin the appeal, you must file a written notice of appeal in this court within 30 days of the judgment. If you plead guilty, you give up or waive all of your rights listed above except for the right to be represented by an attorney. If you're not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime of state law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. All right, so I am going to, hold on a sec.
Your Honor.
Mr. Walls?
Your Honor, I see Mr. Carpenter is on, and he is the attorney on the infraction Cope Crane.
Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. What are we doing with that one?
And I believe we've reached a resolution. If that's a city motion to amend to a nuisance infraction at 124.
And is that?
That's agreed to amend, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill out the order and I'm going to send it to the parties, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
And that is, that means you can go now.
Okay. Thank you very much, Your
Thank
Honor.
you.
Thank you, counsel, too.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So that is a nuisance charge 124 on number 3. All right.
Mr. Webster is represented by Ms. Bowden. I saw her on earlier. I'm not sure where she went to, though.
And I will fill in for Ms. Bowden today, Your Honor.
Okay.
And I just actually emailed over an NOA from Bowden, Barb Bowden's office, and when I say that, I mean literally seconds ago.
Okay.
And that went to Kim's email, but I'm going to stand in for Mr. Webster for purposes of arraignment.
All right. So do we have, let me see, Mr. Webster. All right, so Mr. Webster?
Yes, Your Honor.
Good morning. I have a notice of appearance, waiver of arraignment, plea of not guilty, demand for jury trial, demand for discovery, filed by Barb Bowden. And you heard the rights when I went over them earlier this morning?
I did, Your Honor.
All right. So you're charged by the city of Orting that, and by the way, Mr. Rusnick is standing by as counsel for you today. So he is holding on the spot for Ms. Bowden for a moment. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about, it looks like June 20th, 2020 in Orting, Washington, that you committed the crime of DUI, driving under the influence, in violation of RCW 46-61502. Through that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive probable cause established based on the probable cause statement.
And I did want to address conditions of release briefly.
Okay. Go ahead.
Mr. Webster had posted bail initially, I think before conditions were set. There are a couple of prior alcohol-related incidents including a DUI that ended up with a negligent driving first-degree conviction. Based on that, the city would ask to impose an ignition or interlock requirement.
I believe that's
All
mandatory.
of his offenses were some time ago. He did post bail, and he has hired an attorney. I don't mind PRing and releasing the bail at this time, but I do think an ignition interlock condition would be
Mr.
a good
Rusnick?
idea.
Kind of hard pressed to argue against the statutory conditions, but
All right, and
certainly
what are we
welcome to
looking
hear
at?
alternative viewpoints.
What are we looking at for a date that the next date that we're setting for is 30 days? And so I'm not sure if we want to do that or the first one in September, because the September ones we're more likely to be in court. I'm thinking we're going to keep
Right.
I'd ask for, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Your Honor. Yes, I'd ask for the September date.
Mr. Walls.
I think that makes sense in this case. Likely, I would think they'd be looking at an eval anyway, and those take
All
a
right.
little time these days.
All right. Well, I'm pulling in the calendar right now so we can get that date. I can only stall so much. I'm not going to sing or dance.
I believe that would be
First date,
September 1st.
Okay, so it's going to be 9/1/2020, and that's going to be at 10 o'clock a.m. Mr. Webster, I'm releasing your own personal recognizance, condition of release, or making all court appearances. The next one's going to be September 1 at 10 o'clock a.m. Notify of any address changes, have no law violations, have no alcohol or drugs during dependency action, and do not drive without a valid license and insurance and a functioning ignition interlock device. That needs to be on within 24 hours, okay?
Okay.
All right, I am tracking the infraction with this.
Your Honor, would it be possible to give him 48 hours? I'm not sure.
Any objection, Mr. Walls?
No, Your Honor, that's fine.
48 hours.
Thank you.
Thank you. I am going to sign, and just so I have your address, Mr. Webster, I want to make sure a lot of people are giving us addresses that aren't correct, so I need correct addresses. Where do I send? I'm sending it to Ms. Bowden, but I also want yours.
I have a P.O. box number, but my physical address is
No,
407.
P.O. boxes, I want to make, the P.O. box is fine since you have an attorney.
Okay. P.O.
What's your
box 5 P.O. box 503, Orting, Washington 983660.
Thank you. You're free to go. We'll be sending out the order to Ms. Bowden. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Any others you have out of order?
Yes, Your Honor, if we could address Mr. Marsh.
All right, Mr. Marsh.
And Your Honor, this was originally charged a driving suspended third-degree charge. He has obtained his license, and the city actually previously moved to amend down to an infraction, but then we had to set it over for him to address it. So there is a tracking, no insurance, and then a no license on person infraction.
Okay. And this is the 017 charge.
That's correct.
All right. So the criminal charge has already been mended down to the no driver's license on person. Mr. Marsh, you weren't here. Are you pleading committed to that infraction now?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
And I believe that's 139. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you have insurance on that date?
I did not.
And do you have it now?
I do not.
All right. I'm going to reduce that fine to $200. And I am assuming you don't have $339 to pay right now. So what kind of payments would you like to make? Is $50 a month, 30 days fine?
50 a month in 30
Yeah.
days?
Starting
Yeah,
in
that's
30 days.
perfect. That's
that good?
That's perfect. Yep.
Right. So we're going to set that the total is going to be $339. We're going to set it at $50 a month. Your first payment's due in 30 days, okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Marsh. We'll send you the order.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Anyone else, Mr. Walls?
I did not have anyone else out of order.
All right, thank you. And now we will call Monique Horrell.
Here.
All right, good morning.
Morning.
Were you able to hear when I read the rights earlier, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. So did you understand those rights, or are there any you'd like me to go over with you at this time?
No.
All right. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about June 18, 2020, in Orting, Washington, that you committed the crime of driving under the influence in violation of RCW 46-61502. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waived and probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. You're also charged under 46-2005 with no valid operator's license without identification. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal reading is hereby waived. Probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. You're the tracking infraction, so you don't have to set a separate hearing for it. We're going to track the infraction with this. Are you currently employed?
Yes.
And what is your monthly earnings, approximately?
$400.
Okay, I'm going to direct appoint Matt Resnick as your public defender.
Okay.
And so it's really important that when he follow his directions, the first thing is I'm going to ask what your address is. And Mr. Resnick, you can take this down.
212.
Yes, I'm actually.
Okay. Go ahead.
21230 23rd Street, Port East, Lake Taps, Washington, 98391.
Earl, do you have an email or something we can send, or I'm not sure if you want to say on an open court what your phone number is, but do you have an email that you have exclusive access to that way nobody else is reading any communications?
Yeah, it's MoniqueCorrell6@gmail.com.
MONIQUE Correll CORRELL.
No, HORRELL.
HORRELL @gmail.com.
No,
Okay,
Monique
thank you.
Correll6.
Okay, at
Monique
gmail.com.
Correll6@gmail.com.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Mr. Resnick, what date are we looking at for you? You want that this
This
September?
Yeah,
September
if hopefully things are going to calm down, they're not going to continue the way they are, and everybody will be in court. Yeah, that's
what we
preferable.
keep thinking. All right, so the requirements are going to be continue to release on your own recognizance, make all court appearances, notify of any address change, have no law violations, no alcohol or drugs, do not drive without a license, insurance, and do not drive without a functioning ignition interlock device. And do you understand those conditions?
Yes.
All right. We will mail this to you and to Mr. Resnick. And Mr. Resnick, before I get off the topic, the last one, you're standing in for Barb.
Yes.
Mr. Wallace offered to release the bail, and I didn't do it, so I'm assuming that you'd want that done as well.
No objection. I will
All right.
pass that along to their office. Thank you, Your Honor.
On the last DUI that we did, go ahead and release the bail.
I
Okay.
noted that.
Okay, good. Thank you. And it just reminded me because I was going through it. And all right. So we'll send this. You're free to go, Ms. Orell.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Christopher Catchin,
I'm here.
good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Right. And have you hired an attorney?
I have not.
Okay. And what is your current financial circumstance? Are you working?
I'm collecting unemployment. I got laid off. I was a general manager for 24 Hour Fitness.
Okay,
before
and
the
how
courts.
how much are you getting on unemployment right now?
1,200 a week.
All right, and how many do you have? Well, 1,200 a week. That's 4,800 a month. Unfortunately, you do not qualify for a public defenders. Just so you know that this is a gross misdemeanor that carries a maximum penalty of 1 year in jail and/or a $5,000 fine. So I want to make sure that you do consult with an attorney. And if you need help getting one, there's also Mr. Resnick does that. He can also give you his information as well.
So
So I just wanted to
what I
make
can
sure
do
that.
is give you my email. What I can do is give you my email after you're done with your arraignment.
All right.
Okay, thank you, sir.
And you are Christopher R. Catchin.
That is me.
And what's your date of birth?
11/26/77.
All right. And you are charged by the city of Orting that on or about 6/17/2020 in Orting, Washington, committed the crime of assault 4th degree, domestic violence to that charge. That's in violation of 9A360412. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. I am continuing your release on your personal recognizance. We're going to set this also for 9/1 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Your Honor?
Yes. Let me finish. Make all
yes, sir.
court appearances. Let me finish. All right. Make all court appearances. Notify of any address change. Have no law violations. Now, what were you telling me?
My wife had sent in, we had a no contact order. She sent in an email asking that to be expunged, as we both have 4 children, and it's been quite a hardship to try to stay apart and get them to school, daycare and all sorts of functions they need to go. She sent it to the prosecuting attorney. I was wondering if there's a way to know if he got that email.
All right. Mr. Walls?
Your Honor, we did hear from the victim. She did tell us that she believes this was an isolated incident, that she doesn't have continuing fear of the defendant, and that she does not want the no contact order to be in place.
And the city's position?
If I could have just a minute. Your Honor, Mr. Catchin has limited prior history. There was a dissolution proceeding previously with a different person. I think there may have been an order out of that, but other than that, no other history. Based on the circumstances, the city is not objecting to recalling the no contact order at this point.
Thank you.
All right, as to the contact, I will change it to a no hostile contact order. Any violation of this order, I will revoke that order and re-enter the no contact order. So just putting you on notice, any violations of this temporary order, failure to appear in court, any other criminal law violations, I will put in the order. Do you understand those conditions, sir?
I do, Your Honor.
All right, so at this point, it's no hostile contact. And we will send that order. What's the address that you have?
1402 Riddell Avenue Northeast, Orting, Washington.
How do you spell Rodell?
Riddell.
Oh, you said Northeast?
Yes.
Thank you. We'll send that order.
Thank you.
Yes, sir, I'm going to give you that email address really quick and just touch base with me. I can at least point you in the right direction.
Absolutely.
Tell me when you're ready, and I'll. Do you have something to write it down?
I sure do.
Okay. The email address is rusnaklaw@msn.com. Okay?
Easy enough. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, you have a good day.
All right, you're free to go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you. Mr. Webster, are you still here? Because I just want to make sure you know you're free to go. We've already done your case.
I think he's off.
Well, I see him still on my screen.
Oh, I think that's somebody else, Your Honor.
All right, so with the same name as Jason Webster, I'm hoping not.
Oh,
All right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so now he's gone. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to Rebecca Reed.
Hi, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you are Rebecca Reed?
I am
And what is your date of birth?
12/7/62.
Did you have the opportunity to hear when I read the Statement of Defense Rights this morning?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights, or would you like me to explain any of them?
I understood.
All right, thank you. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about May 28, 2020, in Orting, Washington, that you committed the crime of driving while license suspended in the third degree. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waived. Probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. What will it take to get your license back?
I've always had my license. I have it. It's a California license because I'm here part of the year, and I was going until my dad passed away in March 4th. I was there to take care of him his last 3 weeks. I've been going back and forth from Washington to California.
Before you get into
I have a California driver's license, right?
Hold on, before you get into that, I don't want you getting too deep into the into that. Mr. Walls, what's the? I don't have access to the DOL right here. Do you have it?
Yeah, so there's an infraction out of Pierce County District Court for negligent driving second degree, and that is what's holding up her ability to drive in Washington. So she would just need to address that one ticket.
You need to clear up the FTA in Pierce County, adjudicate that. So that's probably something pretty easy to do, Ms. Reed, and you may be able to. I understand what you're saying about the license, but right now your ability to drive in the state of Washington has been suspended because of that license, that ticket in Pierce County. So you need to simply go to the court and address that, clear the FTA, adjudicate it. So we're going to set this let's set the 60 days, which is that's September. I don't want it that far. I want it August. Oh yeah, so let's go to the end. What's the last one in August?
Last one in August.
So we're going to set this for the 18th of August. Okay? And it should give you time. If you're not able to do it at that time, we'll talk about it then. But I'm going to set this for the 18th of August. And the conditions of release are making all court appearances. The next one's August 18. Notify of any address change, have no law violations, and do not drive without license and insurance. You understand those conditions?
Yes.
And what is your address?
15309 73rd Street, Court East, Sumner, Washington, 98390.
All right, so we'll send this to you. Thank you. You're
Thank
free to go
you.
today.
Thank you.
Raven Rodriguez,
Yes, Your Honor.
good morning.
Good morning.
Were you here this morning when I read off the rights?
I was, and I understood them. Thank you.
All right. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about May 30th, 2020 in Orting, Washington, that you committed the crime of obstructing a law enforcement officer. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings here by way of probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. Are you currently employed?
I am.
And what is your monthly earnings?
About 2,500.
All right. So you don't qualify for a public defender, but I do recommend you talk to an attorney because this is an offense that carries a possibility of jail time.
Yeah.
So again, Mr. Resnick can either steer you in the right direction, and he can also provide his email to you. Other than that, I'm going to release you on your own personal recognizance. Conditions of release are making all court appearances. The next one is whatever 30 days is from today is the. It's going to be 8/4/2020 at 10 o'clock a.m. Pretty much it's going to be on the same format we're doing now. Make all court appearances, notify of any outer change, have no law violations. And those are the conditions. You understand the conditions?
I do.
All right. Thank you.
Your Honor.
What is your address?
Rodriguez. Oh, yeah.
Yes, it's 10570 Southwest Butner, Butner Road, number 3, and that is in Portland, Oregon, 97225.
Okay. We'll send that to you. Thank you.
Rodriguez,
Thank you.
before you go, I'm going to give you my email. Just email me something, and you can touch base. I can at least steer you in the right direction, whatever, provide you some advice on how to proceed.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Okay, I'm ready.
R like Roy, U like under, S like Sam, N like Nancy, A like Adam, K like King, LAW, Rusnak Law at MSN.com.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
The next one is Damara Valencia Martinez.
Present.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And you were here when I read the rights this morning?
Right.
Did you understand all the rights I explained to you?
Yes, sir.
Are there any you'd like to go over at this time?
No, sir.
You're charged that on or about, I get the whole, I have 2 files, hold on just a second. All right. You're charged by the city of Orting on or about 6/27/2020 in Orting, Washington, with the crime of DUI, driving under the influence in violation of RCW 466150. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings here by way of probable causes established based on the probable cause statement. You're also charged on the same date in violation of 46203421C, driving while license suspended in 3rd degree. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waived and probable cause established based on the probable cause statement. Are you currently employed?
No, I am not.
All right. I'm going to direct appoint Mr. Rusnick as your attorney.
Perfect.
And so you'll need to stay in contact with him. We'll get the information going here in a moment. Anything from Mr. Walls on release on this one?
I don't see prior instance. I believe she has already posted bail.
All right. We're going to set this for a 9/1/2020 hearing at 10 o'clock a.m. Make all court appearances, notify of any address change, have no law violations, no alcohol or drugs during this action. Do not drive without a license and insurance. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, what is your address?
Can I actually change that
Yes.
to
I need the address where we can get a hold of you.
all right, 8819 161st Street, Court East, Puyallup, Washington 98375.
Do you have an email I can get a hold of you? And it has to be
Yes.
an email that only you have access to, because these are privileged communications.
Perfect. It's gonna be V as in Valencia and then Damara at gmail.com.
DEMARA?
Yes.
DI. Is it DI or DE?
DI.
Thank you. And at gmail.com. Okay, thank you.
All right, Ms. Fisley, we're going to send the order to you. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Direct appointed. All right. All right, so we now have a couple others on here. Looks like it depends on who you ask.
Are you warm?
What calendar is Mr. Mosseri on?
I am not sure.
Mr. Mosseri? We get to see Kim run out of the courtroom every now and then. And who else we have? Michael Heen?
Oh.
That is an arraignment on the 845.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Michael Heen?
Yes,
Good
sir.
morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right. Grab your file here. Mr. Heen, were you here this morning when I read off the Statement of Defendant's Rights?
I was not, no.
I'm going to go through these rights with you so you understand them. You're charged with a criminal offense. Okay. You're presumed innocent of any charge unless the charge is proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to a speedy trial. If you're in jail, you must be brought to trial within 60 days of commencement. If you are released from jail, you must be brought to trial within 90 days of your commencement date. You have a constitutional right to a jury trial unless you specifically give up that right by signing a jury trial waiver. You have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses who testify against you. You have the right to call witnesses on your own behalf. You may have the court subpoena witnesses to appear and testify at no prior expense to you. You have the right to testify on your own behalf. You also have the right to remain silent and not give any testimony or present any evidence in your defense. Your silence cannot be used against you. You have the right to be represented by an attorney of your own choosing at arraignment and at all proceedings. If you, after your screen is determined you cannot afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. Even though you do not have an attorney at arraignment, you do not waive your right to have an attorney at any later proceedings. If you feel you cannot have a fair trial because of the bias or prejudice of a particular judge, you have the right to ask for a different judge within 10 days of assignment to that judge. You're entitled to only one change of judge. You have the right of appeal from any judgment of guilty entered by the court. To begin the appeal, you must file a written notice of appeal in court within 30 days of the judgment. If you plead guilty, you give up or waive all of your rights listed above, except for the right to be represented by an attorney. If you're not a citizen of the United States, a plea of guilty to an offense punishable as a crime of state law may be grounds for deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States, or denial of naturalization pursuant to the laws of the United States. Do you have any questions regarding those rights, sir?
No, sir.
All right. You're charged by the city of Orting that on or about 6/21/2020, you're operating a vehicle without a valid certificate of title in violation of RCW 4612550-1. For that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby waive and probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. Says there was an infraction with this,
Okay.
but I don't see it.
Okay.
But I mean, I'm not seeing it on here.
That just could be, I didn't track it, so.
All right, so it says there's an, but I didn't see the ticket in here. So, Mr. Walls, do you see a ticket with this as well, an infraction with this? Okay, he says he cited Michael for speeding, operating without valid insurance, and operating a vehicle with no valid operator's license. So those three infractions
It might not.
are under XZ0532008. And so we will track those infractions with this. We will find them and track it with us so they have them all in the same calendar, so you're not required to come back. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
And all right. So this does carry a possible jail sentence. Whether it's unlikely or not is beside the point. So I would consult with counsel, okay? And you can probably resolve this if you do. All right?
Okay.
I'm going to release you on your own personal recognizance.
Okay. I have a letter. Oh, sorry.
And I'm going to set the next hearing date for 30 days, which is, what did we say that was? What is it? Uh, 8/4/2020 at 10 a.m. Notify of any address change, have no law violations. Do you understand those conditions? And no
Yes,
driving
sir.
without a license and insurance. And what's your address?
It is 603 Burnett Court Northwest, Orting, Washington, 98360.
All right, we'll send you this order. Thank you.
Okay. I have proof of insurance and a letter showing that my vehicle shouldn't have been totaled. Is that when I would give you guys that information, or do I do that now?
That's something you would, Mr. Walls, how can he contact you regarding that? Is there a way to do that?
The best way, if he could email those documents to me at aaron@thewallslawfirm.com.
Are you able to write that down?
Yeah. Could you give it to me one more time, please?
Yeah, it's Aaron, AARON, at thewallslawfirm.com.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're free to go. And I have somebody, if you're a defendant in the courtroom, please tell me who you are. Besides, you're free to go. I'm talking with the other ones now. Mr. Mosseri, and there's somebody else here in the courtroom. If you're still a defendant here, please let us know you're here so I can find out who you are.
And Your Honor, Mr. Mosseri, I checked. It looks like he's actually set September 1st.
We have him, yeah, also at that. I'm not sure why he's showing up on here, but there seems to be
It-
someone else in the court. Hello?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Stephanie Fleming.
Okay, and you're Stephanie Fleming?
Yes.
Okay. Well, it keeps coming up Mr. Moseri, and so.
Oh, wait. Oh.
All right. So
I'm sorry about that. I registered my phone for him to
All right.
use.
Well, we would have probably got to you sooner. All right.
I'm
All right.
patient.
So the good news is we're still getting to you. All right.
Okay.
Were you here when I was reading the rights this morning? Or
No,
did you
but
hear
I
them?
heard you read them to the other gentleman.
And did you understand those rights as I read them?
Yes.
Are there any you would like to go over at this time?
No.
All right. So you're charged by the city of Orting that on or about June 14, 2014 in Orting, Washington, committed the crime of driving a license suspended in the third degree. To that charge, a plea of not guilty is entered. Further formal readings hereby way and probable cause is established based on the probable cause statement. There is also a tracking infraction. First of all, do you know what it takes to get your license back?
Yes, I'm in the process now. I have.
And how long do you think it'll take?
I would say by no later than July 30th.
All right. So if
Just-
we set this
just be
for
safe.
if we set this for the end of August, would that give you enough time?
Yeah, that should. Yes.
All right. So I'm
And
going to look.
I have another ticket with that.
Yes, and we're going to track the infraction.
Okay.
That's the one that's with this. We're tracking, so you don't have to worry about that one because we're going to do it at the same time. Okay.
Oh,
So you don't have to
okay.
set another hearing. We're going to set it's a no insurance ticket. We're setting it at the same time as this hearing. Okay. So
Okay.
I'm going to. I believe that is that Tim left. Is that 8:18, Aaron?
Yes.
Or
I can
Matt?
tell you that it is.
8:18.
I can tell you it is. Yeah.
All right. So we're setting at 8/18/2020 at 10 o'clock a.m.
Okay.
Make all court appearances, notify any address change, have no law violations, and don't drive without a license insurance. You understand those conditions?
I understand.
And what is your address?
It's P.O. Box 1954, Orting 98360.
All right. Thank you very much. You're free to go.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Your Honor, we could.
Yeah,
There are
okay.
a couple other ones I can address.
I'm ready.
Serena McAllister is a traffic infraction. I submitted an agreed motion to amend to a nuisance violation at 124.
Okay. Next.
And then Shelly Cosino
Is that a K or a C?
with a C.
All right. I got it.
So someone in her family had contacted our office. She has been in a mental health hospital. I'm not sure when she was expecting to get out or what the release plan would be. But based on that, I would ask we just set this over maybe to end of August and see if we can make contact with her.
So we're going to note FTA and set for last date of August
Yeah.
or 8/18. All right. Okay. Who's next?
I think that's well. I could address the review 930 Apollo Wooten.
Yes. I've set him over regardless.
Yeah, I mean,
No objection here.
at this point, he's been found incompetent. They don't have enough to commit him.
Okay.
He's got warrants out in Marysville. I don't think we can do anything at this point. I don't even know if it's worth it to set a new date because with him being incompetent and with no path to restoring him, I don't think we have the authority to really do anything.
I'm going to strike the hearing and you'll renote it when you want to.
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Oh,
We
I
should-
would note, although she didn't appear, Christina Schmidt, just for the court, I did amend that to a DV theft. I don't
Okay.
think it was filed that way, but it
All
clearly
right, so
was.
this is amended to theft with DV. All right, so amended. You got that amendment? Let's see.
Oh, it's DV.
All right. And everybody else, just an FTA apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, for the driving suspended third charges and the other minor traffic ones, I mean, probably we could put those out into September where they've FTA. Just, I don't think it necessarily makes a whole lot of sense to keep coming back to them.
All these minor. All right.
All minor driving.
What about Gustavo on number 9? September.
September 1st.
Let's go with the second date of September. I got September 1st going pretty good right now.
Okay.
By putting this means the same. So I'm tired of writing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure with Mr. Gilbert. I think at this point, just set it to September as well.
All right. So that's basically the calendar.
So Hernandez Castillo, he's not on it.
How about Mr. Hold on a second. Mr. Schoenbacher? That's a number 41. Yeah, he's a.
I realize it's a new charge, but I think he actually has private counsel on another matter in this court right now. I can't remember who it is, though.
I think that might be a different Schoenbachler.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
So we also have a theft under number 47. That's with Valley. So let's put them all at September. They're not.
Yeah.
Aaron, on that, I'm just leaving the theft third because that's what you wanted in the first place, right? And the other two you want to dismiss, the other two charges on Valley.
Right. Yeah, I accidentally filed an incorrect complaint. It was only supposed to be a theft, however.
You were bored, so.
Yeah.
All right, so we should have people showing up for the next calendar
I'm going to go check.
in the next few minutes here. We have the courtroom set up in case people do show up. We tried to contact last night. We only got 2 contacted because apparently people aren't as good at giving their addresses and phone numbers as we'd hoped.
Yeah.
When would you like to do
I found that out a few weeks ago.
the instruction?
Well, I think oftentimes email addresses are more effective.
Yes. What are we doing with Mr. Erickson today? Apparently he's in custody.
Send over the instructions, but what time would you like me to tell them?
And Matt, I did send over an offer and discovery on that case.
Yeah, I saw that.
So you might be able to, the good thing about the video is you could probably do a breakout room and talk to him, go through everything.
What time do you guys think that would be a good time to do that? Because we're sitting here.
I'll be honest with you. I actually have one private client in SeaTac, and they're waiting for me to get on Zoom and just continue that. Then I'll do the other. I'll do Ian.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and you've got? Are you able to do that right now?
Very quickly, yeah. I mean, the prosecutor over there knows about it. Yeah.
We'll talk about probably. We'll tell Enum Claw 10:30. Is that okay?
Works. Thank you. That's perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
That's fine.
All right. Good. And you go ahead and do your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're going to see how many show up on this pretrial calendar because, like I said, she got a hold of 2 of them.
Yeah.
So we will see what that means.
A couple of them did clear their license. So we can probably address those even if they don't show.
Well, good news is in reality, she got 2 out of 8 because a lot of these are doubles.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's not as bad as it seemed. All right. So we'll let you know. You're probably going to sit there and work, so I'll just put us
Yeah.
on mute, and
Yeah.
I'll interrupt you when we get something going.
Okay.
just checking in to see how you guys are doing.
Ready on my end. We have anybody in the lobby?
I don't really. I only know that the two people are. Have you guys seen the two people that are here?
I've got 2 in the lobby. I haven't shipped them over yet, though.
Why don't we? Let's send them over so that Matt and
Okay.
Aaron can deal with those two.
Okay. All right, they're coming over.
Thank you.
Is Aaron still around?
Yeah, he's on the list of people participating.
He's ignoring us. There you are.
Sorry, I'm in a video hearing in Tequila.
Oh, if you're still on it, then go ahead and finish. I just wanted to get those
it's
two in
almost
here. So
done.
you guys, it's Jessica Rico and
Gillen?
Robert Gillen.
Ian, yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, so are those yours, Matt?
No. The only one I actually have on this is Martin Chapman on this calendar.
All right. So let me see. Rico is. They're both UWS thirds, and I probably were checking on their status, I guess. Would I be guessing? Look at my previous order here. In custody, they're not going to be available until 11:10.
That's fine.
Right.
There you go.
Are you Mr. Guillen?
Yeah, Mr. Gian Timoteo. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm at work right now, but I was able to do this.
That's all right. So what is the status of your license? Are you getting close to getting that back, or?
Yeah, I paid the Alliance. I'm doing payments on both of them. I just need to go make an appointment to pay the reissue fee, and that's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Mr. Walls is done yet. Once he's done, then we can have him look and see where you are on that.
Okay.
While he's at it, Miss Rico, are you there? I see that you're muted and your video is off. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. And it looks like you were also trying to get your license back. Where you are on that?
Because of the crazy pandemic thing, I wasn't working for a while, but I just started back at work, and for some reason I wasn't able to receive the unemployment as well, but I have paid a little bit off on it. I think I have like $100 more that I have to pay towards Ruston before that one is
Okay.
cleared all the way out. So now that I'm
And they won't-
working, I'm going to try to set the payment plans up for Tacoma.
Okay. All right. So what time period do you think you'll need?
As long as you could give me, honestly, I just started back at work and I'm homeless at the moment.
Any objections to the middle of September date?
That sounds wonderful.
No, Your Honor.
All right. So we'll set it to the second date in September. I'm going to wait till my staff gets in here and we'll do that. Because I'm actually, Matt, do you have the second date in September? You had it before.
I can get that for you right now. Yeah, just give me one moment. It
I think it's
is
the
15th, yes.
All right. So I'm going to set this out. And the problem is if you say you're homeless, I have to get you notice. How do I get you notice?
I have a mailing address where my mother lives.
Give me your mailing address.
It's the 716 North J Street.
716
It's where
North.
you guys have been sending my mail.
Yeah, I just have to ask everybody because you're one of
No
two
problem.
people that showed up on this calendar. So 716 North J Street and what city?
It's apartment E, as in Edward. It's Tacoma,
E.
Washington, 98403.
All right, so we're going to set this for the 15th of September at 10 o'clock. Let's work on this and hopefully we can get that done so we can stop you from coming to court. All right. All right, we'll send out this order. You're free to go. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Uh-oh. Mr. Guillen, it almost looks like you fell or something.
Oh, nah.
All right. Are you? Oh, he's still on the. Looks like he's still on the Tukwila hearing. As soon as Mr. Wells is on ours, and we can find out what he knows about the status.
Okay.
And you're just finished in Tequila. So Mr. Guillen has cleared his license. He just needs to go and reinstate it. I think he just has to pay the reissue fee.
Right.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. So based on that, city would amend to no license on person RCA 4620017 at 139, and then there's a tracking fail to carry the vehicle registration. I just have to mitigate on that.
Okay, Mr. Guillen Timoteo, the city is moving to amend the criminal charge down to an infraction. Are you pleading committed to that infraction?
Yes, sir.
All right, so that fine will be 139. We'll give you time to pay it.
Okay.
And on the issue of the failure to carry vehicle registration, that's 139. I'll mitigate it down to $100, so your total is $239.
Okay.
All right, and so $50 a month starting in 30 days.
Sounds good.
And so let me fill this form out, and before I let you go, let me get this done.
Okay.
Ian Timoteo. And then... All right, so just make sure I have your address. What is it?
20314 135th Avenue East, Graham, Washington 98338.
All right, so we'll send this out to you.
Okay.
And so payments, again, $50 a month starting in 30 days. Okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right,
Have a good day.
Matt, yeah. And Matt and Aaron, we are having an 11:10 in custody hearing.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
while we're available.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
So I'll see you back right around 11:05 or so to start getting set up.
That works. Thank you.
I've done both. I can handle this.
No, you can.
Yes.
No, you can.
Aaron, you heard that we're checking back in at 11:05? Okay.
Yes, I did hear that.
There's a Hubert in the room. That's a new one. Here, let me look.
Oh, Hubert was from the 8:45, I think. That was.
Do you have a Hubert on your list there? Because I don't. Mr. Whoever is coming on the phone is Hubert. Can you please identify yourself? Turn your video and your speaker on.
Oh, that's Nitupu Vivaha.
All right. And what time is this one?
Hello.
At 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock. All right. Sir, did you get your license back yet?
No, it's costing a whole lot of money, and which I don't have.
And are you able to set up payments with anyone yet?
Haven't even been working, sir.
All right. I think at this point, Mr. Walls, it's probably should set this for 30 days and appoint Mr. Rusnick.
That's fine.
All right. So we're going to reset you for 30 days, sir. And then we're going to
Okay.
appoint the public defender to represent you. Okay?
Okay.
And so he's going to have to be able to email you. Do you have an email address?
Yes, I gave it. Yes, I do.
Okay. So why don't you give it to me so I can get it to
It's
him?
it's Allied One Concrete, ALLIEDONE Concrete at yahoo.com.
Is this your own email, though?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Allied One Concrete at yahoo.com.
Yes.
All right. So we are going to go ahead and set this for, what is the?
8-4.
8-4. And it's going to also be on video, but Mr. Rusnick will appear for you at that time. All right.
Need an address.
What is your address?
6337 Park Street East in Fife.
In what city?
Fife.
Oh, Fife. Okay. All right.
Zip code?
Let me look it up, sir.
We'll look it up. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
All right. So we're resetting that hearing. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm done?
Yes, you are. You're free to go.
All right. Thank you.